Thank you for being here today on today's Monday Reset. We have a lot of really great things happening, and today is meant for you to be fully present because there's going to be math and we're all going to love it. And because this is usually a smaller group, my goal is for every single person here to truly understand the numbers as it relates to their life and business. So, no such thing as a silly question. Whenever you ask a question, someone else may also have the same one. And I want everyone to get ready to write because you are going to be figuring out your specific numbers. So here's what I'll promise. We're going to work through it together. Awesome. Okay, the very first thing I want to just hear from everyone and put it in the chat or pop off of mute. I want to hear, what do you think of when you think of numbers? How do you feel? What do you think about? And just be totally transparent because I have a goal for how I want you to answer at the end of this, but I want to get very real about how everybody here thinks about numbers or using numbers or going through them. Ready? Go ahead and share.
Love hate.
Do I really have to answer this?
In one word.
Hate it.
Perfect, perfect, perfect.
In one word,
Well, you did great down there.
you know I can't do that.
You did great. Oh, I like that, Nicole. They are a puzzle that, when solved, can tell you everything. That is so true. Jordan said nervous or fearful. Britt said legion, legion, legion. Every no is a victory that gets you closer to a yes. I love that energy that you're bringing into the conversation. So good. Okay, so everyone has a variety of experiences with how they feel about numbers. Yes? Yes. Okay. All right. So my goal is that by the end of this conversation today, you are going to feel like consistently utilizing and leveraging numbers in your life is going to totally transform one or multiple areas of your life and business. And that you're going to start falling in love with numbers and having consistency in your life around them. Okay. I know that's a big goal from where we're starting from, and I'm excited about it. So let me go ahead. Sorry, guys. I thought I would have the other sheet for you already. And let me grab what's been the best part about your week so far as I'm pulling this up.
I painted my stairs.
Perfect.
I'm just so busy, and I had like a new banister and flooring put in 2.5, almost 3 years ago. And like, it wasn't even, it was like all messy and gross looking.
Okay, good. I can't wait to see it. Okay,
It was a big
awesome. So as the title was today, we're going to go through 7 freedom numbers and 3 focus numbers that drive consistent growth. And the first one we're going to go through is the freedom number. And for those of you that were at the blueprint, this might be slightly repetitive, but it's not going to be exactly the same. So just walk with me through it. And this is going to be a number you're going to figure out every year around this time. So before, it was previously known as the lid. I've now changed it slightly based on the exercises we've all done together. And it is now going to be called lift, Lift. And the things it's going to include are going to be the same as the lid. I just want you to really understand each one of these deserves a conversation. So number 1 is lifestyle. That's going to be your monthly needs. That's your monthly personal needs. And we're going to figure out how much is it a month and then how much would it be for the whole year for 2026. If you don't consistently know what this is, go ahead and guess on the higher range and be super conservative. And then you can always bring it down lower if you want. If you're now like, I'm doing a better job with my budget, I'm actually paying attention. Or if you want a really fun trick for someone who's never done this before, you can pull up your bank statement for the last month and see how much money went out of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Does this include like your,
I want to see that.
like your bills, your mortgage, your everything?
Everything life related, yeah. So this is how much does it cost for you to live for the month? And everyone you take care of. So if that includes taking care of parents, children, anybody that you take care of consistently, this is all of that. Thank you. The next number we're going to write down is investments. And whether you already have an extensive investment portfolio or whether you are just getting started in the conversation or anywhere in between, this relates to you. So if you have not yet been investing consistently in anything like the S&P or bonds or real estate or any of that, this is your opportunity to choose in 2026. You're going to set aside at least a small amount of money for you to use for investments in alignment with how you see fit, whether it is purchasing an investment property in the future for yourself or one of your children, whether it is that you're going to invest a certain amount per your financial planner in the S&P 500, whatever it is, you're going to predetermine how much money in 2026 you're going to set aside for you to invest. You don't have to know how yet. You just have to choose that you're going to grow your wealth. So if you do know it's this property, here's what the down payment's going to be on it, you can put that down payment in there. If you don't know, you can just start off with saying, hey, I have a lot of debt. I don't even understand this part of the conversation. And I'm just going to put $5,000 or $10,000 on there so I can start with something and grow an investment account. And that's okay. I don't have an opinion. I just want you to choose that you're going to start investing because you're in a business where you choose how much money you make. The next one is your freedom fund. So this is your dream fund and your giving. So as you can recall, sometimes this conversation has been included in the lifestyle, and I've found that people find that confusing. So that's why I broke this into 4 categories instead of 3. So your freedom fund is going to be, what are the things that you really have dreamt of doing that you want to include in next year? Vacations, experiences, things you want to do for your friends, things you want to do for your kids. Think about their ages and how old they're going to be next year. Think about your parents, your loved ones. What are some things that you would dream of doing next year? And then just write down a rough draft of how much that would cost. If you need to star this and go back to it, then this is an important one as a follow-up piece of homework, because sometimes you need to go see how much is it going to cost to take my family to Disney, or how much is it going to cost for me to go to Italy, right? But just put a rough draft number here so that you have it, and giving back is included here too. So whatever matters to you, whatever you feel called on mission to contribute to with your money and or your time, the amount of money you would like to allocate to helping with that next year is included in your freedom fund. This is a fun conversation to have with your family as well, to ask them what they care about giving back to. You never know what comes out of that conversation. It's really awesome. As I've worked on conversations with some of my elite coaching clients, it's been amazing to listen to what conversations happen when they ask their kids what they want to help with, and like get their wheels turning around it and truly dive into what matters to them and who they want to help make an impact for. Okay, so just choosing the amount for both of those. And then the last one is taxes and debt, everyone's favorite. So this one, any debt that you would like to pay off in 2026 would go there. And then here's where sometimes people can get a little bit lost. So first, I want to double check on everyone in the meeting and make sure that you already have something written down. It doesn't have to be perfect, something written down for L, I, and F. Do you at least have something for each of those? Yes? Okay, great. Jeff, do you have something written for those?
Wait a minute, say that one more time.
Do you have a number written to your lifestyle, your investments, and your freedom fund?
I don't have a number. I wrote down what you said.
Okay.
I can,
I
I
want
can
you
put a number. I can put a number to it pretty quick.
Okay, well, go ahead and write those down because you're going to need it for the next part. Got it? And here's the best part. You're going to be able to write this calculation down so you can practice it, ask questions, and feel really good about the number being right. Okay? Okay. You're going to add up your lifestyle number for 2026, the whole year. You're going to add the investment amount to it, and then you're going to add your freedom fund to it, as well as any debt. So you're adding 4 numbers together. Notice I did not say taxes and debt because we're about to do the tax calculation, okay? Unless you already know you have any kind of past taxes that you need to catch up on and you know the amount of money that would be included in your debt. Does everyone know where we are? And if any of you just recently joined us, don't worry, we're only on 1 of 10 numbers, so you're still going to get the majority and you will have the recording. Do not leave. I'm excited for you to be here.
Okay, Saundra, clarification, because I was doing math. We're adding LIF.
Yep.
And we're going to figure, are we also adding the tax portion of T? I mean, not the tax, the debt
The
portion.
debt portion, correct. Yes.
Okay.
You're adding all those. Got it? Okay. After you have those 4 added up, what we're going to do is you're just going to multiply it times the percentage that you believe you'll be paying in taxes. If you have no idea, I would use around a 30% and then double check it with your financial team. Whether it's your CPA or your tax accountant, you want to make sure you're using the right percentage for you. But if you have an idea, use that one. Sometimes it ranges between 30 and 40% depending on your tax bracket and depending on if you need to show income or not based on your goals. Because if you have goals that you're going to be investing in property, then you'll need to show that you have taxable income. If you want to reduce your taxable income as far as possible because you don't have that goal and you're going to invest in the S&P or invest in a high yield savings account, then you probably want to reduce your expenses, make as many tax deductions as you possibly can. And so you need to know that for you to decide what your tax percentage is going to be. But for today, if you don't have one already, let's use 30% as an example. So you'll have your 4 numbers added up, multiply it times 30%, whatever that answer is, or yours. You're going to add that to everything else. Okay, so we took your original 4 numbers, multiplied it times 30%, came up with the tax amount, and now you're adding all 5 numbers together to get your total. Britt. Get busy, girl, get busy. This is just clarity. This is not to stress anyone out. And when you practice this number every single year, your clarity and the likelihood of you making this happen absolutely multiplies. And I've seen this happen over and over and over again. And then you can actually back this up into the profit margin of your business. And that's a very individual conversation depending on what your business looks like. So I am happy to jump on a one-on-one for 15 minutes with anybody that needs help doing that part as a next step, just because I don't want people to get lost here. Okay. And we did that for a lot of people that were in the in-person blueprint that we did in September. But if you still need any clarity at all before we get going into next year, take advantage of jumping on my calendar in the next couple weeks for 15 minutes and do not walk away from October without having clarity on that. Sound good? Everybody feel good so far? Nobody's lost? Except for I know a couple of you came on later, so we'll definitely make sure we get that first part figured out. Okay, next one is dollar per hour. We're on number 2 of 10. So this is where we're going to choose the gross commission income that you need to make in 2026 for your real estate sales business, because some of you have other businesses. So even Lourdes, with your business with your husband, you could actually create the same thing that we're about to. So this is based on the gross commission you plan on making in 2026, divided by the number of hours you want to work in 2026. Your goal hours is going to be your dollar per hour. So I'm going to walk you through this. Does everyone have a rough idea of how much gross commission income you want to make in 2026? And remember, this is 100% participation. So even if you can't come on camera, I want everyone to heart or like, or I'm calling on you if you're clear on how much gross commission income your goal is for 2026.
Is that the number we just came up with
No.
in one? Okay.
No, because you'll have expenses in there. I know. You're like, oh boy, the number's bigger. It is bigger than your lift number. So based on that response, and for the sake of anybody who did not get to like or love, hi Jody, I love seeing your beautiful face. Let us think about really quick. Britt, just throw your big huge number which I'm sure is not as big as you think it is, but throw your big number that we came up with on number 1 out there so we can help anyone else come up with their goal for their income.
So my lift number after adding the tax came to 312,550.
Thank you. Since Britt is an individual agent, I'm going to do this as a profit margin of an individual agent, okay? For everyone else here, because it's slightly different depending on how you lead it.
Mm-hmm. So I can make it 315K just to even it out.
That works, yes. So, ideally, a highly profitable individual agent would make about an 80% profit margin.
Okay.
So we are going to take your 315 and divide it by 80%, which gives us 393,750. Okay. Which gave you enough money for you to pay for your cost of sales and your expenses in your business and still net what you needed to. That's what we were aiming for.
So then I'm shooting for 400K for hitting all my goals.
To net and pay for everything.
Yeah. Yes, that covers like 100,000% of everything in a little cushion. So.
Okay. Love it. Who else here? Oh, you're welcome, Lourdes. Who else here does not have clarity? Hi, Delia. I'm so happy you're here. Who doesn't have clarity around this, around your GCI? You? Hi. Oh, hi. I know you do because we're coaching. Okay. So now we are going to move into the next part, which is how many hours per week you want to be working in 2026. If you are an 80-hour-a-week girl, this is not, or guy, Jeff, this is not the answer. We want you to have a life by design. That's the whole point of running your own business. So we're going to go ahead and choose how many hours a week would you like to be working and still hitting the goals that you are. And then we're going to multiply that times 40 weeks, because these are the weeks that you're all in business, not when you're in training, not when you're at an event, not when you are on vacation. These are I'm all in weeks. Everyone got that number of how many hours it'll be?
Sorry, can you repeat that last piece one more time? You said 20.
Sure. Say it again, Lourdes.
Sorry, my daughter's in the background making noise. I said, you said the number per week that you would want to work by, what's the second number?
40 weeks. So now you have your annual income goal, and now you have how many hours you would like to work in 2026. Yes? Did you guys hear me? Did you guys hear what I said? Okay, perfect. Okay. It said I was unstable,
You're
so-
going in and out a little bit there, Saundra.
So like if you want to do a 40
Okay.
hour work week, you
Tell
times
me-
it by 52.
Tell me what you heard so I can make sure I'm not repetitive.
All right, I think you said multiply the hours we want to work by 52 weeks, right?
No, I didn't. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, by 40 weeks.
Thank you.
By the
It's
number of
40
weeks you want to work. Right?
This is how many hours a week you want to work by 40 weeks.
By 40 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
And y'all can hear me now? Okay,
Yes.
great. Awesome. Sorry about that. I didn't know my internet was unstable. Thank you for having me repeat it. So when you divide those two, your annual income goal by how many total weeks for the year you're going to be working, then that's going to give you your ideal dollar per hour. And you're going to write that down. This is how much you are worth per hour in your business. If I could choose an award to give to people in any real estate related business, I would give it on this. What are you actually making your dollar per hour worth? Because when you understand this and you understand creating opportunities for people that are great at things that you're not, it changes everything. Does everyone have their personal dollar per hour for 2026?
What was the math again for the dollar per hour?
Your annual income goal for 2026. I love that, Jackie. Annual income goal for 2026 divided by your total hours for the year. Got it? All right, y'all type your Jackie's lead. Everyone type in the messaging what you came up with. Got it, Nicole? 260, 250?
Ooh,
All right, you said two different
169?
things. I've heard you say two different things. You said multiply the hours we want to work times 40 weeks, and then you said multiply the hours we will divide the hours we want to work into what we want to make.
I did say two different things. So you're going to do, there's two steps to this. You're going to take how many hours you want to work. So tell me how many hours you want to work a week, Jeff.
30.
30. You're going to multiply that times 40 weeks.
Gotcha.
What do you get there?
100.
Perfect.
Right.
You're going to take your annual income goal. That's right. Annual income goal. What's your annual
And-
income goal for next year?
100,000.
And divide it by your 1,200.
Okay.
And that's going to be your dollar per hour. Thank you for that, because now my connection's stable and someone else probably needed to hear that again. Jody said, I'm expensive. That's such a good aha. Okay. How do you feel knowing what you're worth in running this business? What do you think?
Yeah.
Cheap.
Love
Don't
that,
waste my
Frida.
time.
Good. Don't waste my time. So good. I love that. What'd you say, Jeff?
Cheap.
I feel cheap. My word, it gave you perspective on your value. Yes, 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 Jackie. That is the whole point. We need to be clear on our value, what we're worth, and the difference that we can make for people, right? And what is the level of work we should personally be focused on? Our work should be focused on building relationships, having appointments, and doing an excellent job on delivering on what we promise we're going to deliver on. Yes, that is what a professional does. And all of you guys are choosing to be a professional by choosing to show up to this call. Now, this is not something you're going to have time to do all of today, but I want you to write down 3 things. One of your homework pieces is you're going to start a not to-do list. I don't care if it is in your phone. I don't care if it's in your Google Drive. In one place that you can keep it, you're going to start a not to-do list. Everything that you find yourself doing throughout the day that is not worth the dollar per hour that you just discovered you are worth needs to go on your not to do list. Even if you are brand new and no position to hire yet, you need to go ahead and have a not to do list starting now. I promise you there are a lot more things you're doing than you realize that are worth less than that. Today, you're just going to write down the top 3 things that come to mind that you do that are worth less than your dollar per hour. And then I want you to type one of them in the chat. What I mean by worth less is you could pay someone else less than that to do it for you. Clean your floors. That's a good one. This is both personal and business leverage, guys, because when you use that time you get back to go build business or be present with your family, it's worth it. Love it, love it, love it. Email marketing, grocery shop, marketing, yard work, clean my floors. Yes. Walk the dog. Do you think that those things you just mentioned are things that you could create an opportunity for someone who loves that and is great at it? Yes. And it's up to you what you do, teenagers. Yeah, they would love to have the opportunity, right? Here's the trick. It's up to you what you do with the time you get back. This doesn't work if you don't invest the time you get back into building relationships and taking care of people that you're building business with or being present with the people you love most. It always works when you do. Yeah. P&L and bookkeeping. Yeah, that's a big one.
That is.
Even people who have full-time jobs, they're not great with the financial piece. Having someone else do that is, and then you having time to make decisions based on the actual financials already being put together properly is 100% always worth it. That's so good. All right, what are your ahas from this one?
Just get earning. There's like a philosophy out there because I'm very good at budgeting and spending less, but it's like, don't fix it that way. Earn more. Like earn your way out of a hole. Don't like save your way out of a hole. I mean, yes, save, yes, have a smart budget, but like instead of like micromanaging what you can cut and eliminate, focus on earning out.
Lead with revenue. Lead with revenue. You cannot save your way to profit.
Right, exactly.
Try it. Yes, you should be wise, but you can't save your way to profit. If you're not making sure every dollar that you're spending in your business is at least causing you to get affordable in return directly or indirectly, including yourself as an investment, then you are not a business owner. So you need to be thinking about that. Red light, green light, lead with revenue. You cannot save your way to profit. Okay. All right. Number 3, profit margin. We're going to get going faster because these are going to be a little easier. You guys are already really warm on your math skills. I'm so proud of you. And so number 3 is your profit margin percentage. And we kind of talked about this when we helped Britt go from her lift number to her income goal. So profit margin is simply your profit divided by your gross revenue in your business. This applies to any business, by the way. This is how you calculate a profit margin in any industry. And what do you think is a healthy profit margin in other industries outside of real estate? Whoever's familiar with different businesses or different industries, what do you think is a really amazing profit margin that you've ever heard of other businesses having? What'd you say?
10%.
10%? Okay. That's a good one. What were you
If
going
you're
to say,
lucky.
Brett?
I know, I was like 30% would be amazing. That's like a
15 to
profit.
30, Lourdes. That's really good. That's really good. What else? Have you guys heard of any other businesses with great profit margins? 15 to 30 in first 5 years. Yeah. Okay. So service businesses have the highest profit margin when ran well. And Jeff, you're about right on the money. In other industries, one of the highest industries is like grocery stores, sometimes depending on what brand it is. And they get right around 10% and consider that a huge win. Just think about that. Even though the work necessary to take your business from good to great or to get it off the ground initially in the real estate business is work, especially when you're doing all those things you aren't great at and are worth less dollar per hour than you are. But your potential is amazing. So yes, Britt's was 80%. Imagine an 80% profit margin and her being able to take care of all those things in 1 year just by focusing on building relationships. And even when you get to the point that you're a millionaire real estate agent, the ideal is 40% profit margin. So even then, when you're creating opportunities for other people and you're just in your zone going on appointments every day, and you have people working with you and nailing it, you have the potential to still keep 40% of it. How do you feel about the business you're in now?
Great.
Good opportunity? get to make a
Yeah.
difference and have a really great profit margin. So here's what I want you to do with that. You'll take your income goal for next year, which you already know, your gross revenue goal, and your ideal profit margin. You're trying to see more profits. I love that comment. That's so good. That's why you're here. You're on the numbers call. So you're pay attention to that. Now, you have to be ready to adjust. So I'm going to go back to that red light, green light conversation, right? When you're looking at your money every single month, you can make great choices on what do I need to double down on to grow revenue, or what decisions do I need to make based on what I'm seeing in my expenses. And when you adjust every single month, you don't get so far off track that you get overwhelmed. But here's what happens. People don't look at it. So you need to make a commitment as a result of this call, if you haven't already or haven't already been on one of my coaching calls with me, that you're going to have a monthly money day that you look at your personal net worth and your business profit and loss statement. Whether you put it together or not, I don't have an opinion, but you need to be looking at it because it's your business. This is not wait once a year till tax time and throw a bunch of receipts at somebody. I know none of you do that, but that's not what we're doing here. We're going to fall in love with having a monthly money day so that we can choose our life and our business on purpose. Okay. All right. So to get your profit margin percentage, when you're doing your monthly money day, you're just going to divide your profit by your gross commission, actual, not goal. And that's going to tell you what percentage of your income is turning into profit. So let's pretend like you profited after all expenses. You profited $200,000 and you made $350,000 in gross commission income. What would your profit margin be?
Got it. Okay. Okay.
It's pretty good profit, ain't it?
Who
About
wants to tell me?
70%.
57. 57. Did you guys get 57%? I want you to have practicing calculating that. You can do it. You're just taking the profit number, dividing it by the gross commission, which is your top level, which means your buyer commission at the attorney's office, your seller commission at the attorney office, any referral income that you got. Those are the things that are going to be included in that top number. This is before you pay company dollar or cap or royalty or expenses or any of that. That all comes out later, right? You're going to divide the bottom number after everything by the top number, and then you'll have your percentage. So if we take the 200 divided by 350, it's 57%. Did you guys get that?
I got 60%, but I left the taxes out. Do I leave them in?
Oh, you got it for your calculation?
I got 60%. It's supposed to be 58, 57.
Did you do yours or did you do what I was doing as an example?
Mine.
Okay. And what did you imagine your
I did 235.
35 for profit?
The number I needed for the lift
Okay.
was 235 before I put the taxes in. So that would be like the profit.
Okay. I would include your taxes in that.
Okay. So do the 312. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I love your question, Jackie. At 100,000, what would a good profit be after taxes, splits, and expenses? So what's interesting about the 100,000 mark is you're just like, right around going over cap in most Keller Williams offices, and most, this group right here is around 2/3 Keller Williams people. And then we have some guests from other brokerages as well. So it just depends on what your model is around your cost of sales. And you know that you're in a good environment for that, Jackie. So you just need to figure that out. So I would subtract out your caps when you're figuring that out. And then you're right at the point where you're still closing transactions such that you might pay a transaction coordinator on closing. But really, other than like your listing sales expenses and your MLS and your board, those are your primary expenses at that point, because what's your average price point for you? Is it around the average of the 400,000? Oh, 350 to 4. Yeah. 375 average. I'll do 2.5. So you're closing 10 transactions, right? So you probably have a transaction coordinator if you want your time back to accelerate that 100,000 as fast as possible. So I would say 60 is about safe. That's pre-tax income. is 60. Thank you for asking that question. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to move into, does anyone have questions about this part? You guys feel good about how to pull your profit margin every month so you understand what it is. You're only dividing your profit by your gross commission. You're doing nothing else. You're taking how much profit you made that month and dividing it by the commission, and you're getting a percentage so that every month you can pull your percentage and watch it grow. That's the point of pulling it. We good there? If not,
I'm a
tell
little
me.
confused, but you can keep going.
Okay, if you want to have extra time on it, then feel free to reach out. You know, you can get me on the phone anytime.
Yeah. I just was a little confused between the definition of the gross commission versus the lift that we made up. Because it's like, isn't that what we need our gross commission to be?
No,
So we need our
your
take home.
gross commission
Okay,
is
yeah,
going
no,
to be
I'll-
how much money you need to make gross for the whole year before you pay your expenses out of your business. We'll
Yeah,
go over
we'll
this
do it
relationship
separate.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good. That's a valid question. I don't want anyone to be lost, so thank you for bringing it up. So those two are not the same, and we will go over it again for you. Number 4, weekly appointments. So this is how many closed units you need for you to hit your gross commission goal. So you're going to do what I just did with Jackie. You're going to take your annual revenue goal for next year, which we used in number 2, of exactly how much gross commission you need to make. This will be your 400,000, Brett.
Okay. I think
Yep.
I'm on track.
And then you're going to divide it by your average commission. I would use about a $10,000 check if you don't know what your average commission is yet in the Charlotte market. If you're in the Columbia market, I think it's around like 7,500 to 8,000. Yes. I think that's from the conversations I've had with the ladies that are there. It feels like it's around 7,500 to 8,000 average there. So you'll take your gross commission goal and divide it by that average commission check. That's going to give you your total closed units goal for 2026. So what we would example for you is we would take your 400,000 gross commission goal and divide it by 10,000 as an example.
Okay.
And then what do you get? 40?
Yeah. And every time we do 40K, I'm doing the actual number I came up with.
The
Divided by
400.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that, does everyone know how many closed units you need for next year?
9,
Okay.
40.
Okay. All right. Here is where sometimes people get lost. So I'm going to ask you to listen carefully, write down what I'm saying in your version, and I will go over it again. Okay. And I'm going to use averages. You might already know yours. Some of you definitely do. I know what Delia's are. I know what some of yours already are around this. So if you know yours, great. Most people don't, and it's okay if you don't. Now you're going to start paying attention to it every month. Sound good? So we're going to do conversion rates. So we're going to take, I'm going to use your example of 39, Britt, okay? So we're going to take her 39 closed units, and what happens before it closes, it goes under contract. Okay. So we're going to figure out how many under contract she needs to close 40. I'm going to use an average of 75% because you're newer in this part of the business, although you have previous experience. Okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
If you know your conversion from under contract to close, you would use it here and divide by that percentage. So I'm taking 40 divided by 75%. A lot of right now in Lake Norman at a top team's office, theirs is 90% here. So you just have to know what your conversion is. So this would be 53 under contract for Brit.
Got it.
So we use 75% as an average. Now, what happens before it goes under contract? What's the benchmark before that?
Offer put in, or do we back it up further than that? Like
what piece of paperwork do you have to be able to put a contract in for someone?
the exclusive agency?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to figure out from agreement to under contract, what is the conversion? And we're going to use 75% average again for this example. If you know what yours is, use it of how many agreements actually go under contract for you. Again, example for this, I'm at an MREA team's office that I'm coaching. Theirs is 90% here as well. So it can range. So 75% average, top teams sometimes 90, to which I would say you might not be meeting with enough people. But it's a good because you're great at it by then, right? 71 agreements in this example for you, Brett, for 75% conversion. Everybody good so far? You got your numbers that you're putting in? Okay. All right. What happens before an agreement?
The meeting. You have
Yes,
to have your
listen, you go
consultation.
on your appointment. So now
Yeah.
we're going to think about your appointment to under agreement conversion. And I'm going to use an average of 75%. It's
Yeah.
whatever yours is. It's whatever yours is, right? You're going to study these as you go over it, and they're going to be much better than this. But right now we're using averages. So whatever we come up with is absolutely going to make sure you hit the goal.
Do you think 75 for appointment to agreement? Not like 50?
When you get good at it.
Yeah. Okay.
75 is average. When you
Wait.
go well prepared, the person is already qualified, right? Let me define an appointment. I had to define this, and I've had to define this in really, really top brokerage and team conversations, by the way. An appointment is someone who's already fully qualified. Before that, it's a contact. So you are only counting
Right.
as appointments people that are already ready to go. They don't
Like
need
they already
anything
want
else.
the appointment, so you have to blow it. Okay, got it. Okay.
No, well, I wouldn't say already
I
won. That's
mean,
hard to judge.
right, but like
But they have
Peterson
the-
is more like, do you want to
The
make
ability. They have to already have the ability to buy or sell.
their
Be counting as
qualified? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But then how am I not getting the math right? So if I have 71 agreements and it's
95.
how do 71 times 75?
No, you're dividing each time. The number should
71
get
divided.
bigger
Oh,
in
that's
this
why I did it wrong.
calculation.
Okay.
Yes, that's okay. That's common. So you're at 95 appointments. Does everyone on the screen have your personal appointment goal now by following this calculation? If not, let's walk through it one more time. You went from your closed units to your under contract, which we either use 75% or your average that you know what it is. If not, you're going to start tracking it as of today. Then from under contract to agreement, we divided by 75% again because it's average, but you can use yours if you know it. Then from agreement to appointment, we divided by 75% again because it's average, but use yours if you know it. And that tells you how many total appointments you need for 2026 to close the number of units you need to. Who feels like they're a math whiz now? Perfect. All right, type in the chat. You got this, Jackie. Type in the chat what your total goal is for the year for your appointments, because appointments is what determines everything else. You don't have to remember any of the rest of them if you just stay laser focused on hitting the appointments. This is what happens. People get drowned in what's going on in the environment, what's going on over here, what's going on over there, instead of being so focused on, I'm committing to myself, I'm going to go on this many appointments. Because these things that I said were important to me in that first conversation of my lifestyle, my children, my vacations, my wealth building, those are so important. Nobody else gets to interrupt me or get in my way of going on this many appointments. Yes, you get to choose that for yourself. Okay, got some numbers in there? Awesome. You're at the next step, Brett. Okay, got it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. All right, here we go. Thank you, Treva, 60. Okay. Now, here's what's fun. Does that sound like a big number? Yeah, you already went to the next step, Brett. So now you're going to divide it by 40. So for you, Brett, you already have it in there. You're ahead of me. You're going to round that up to 3 because you can't have a 0.4 of an appointment, right? But what you know, because it was 0.4, is if you have a week where you did 2, you're not totally thrown off, but your goal is 3.
Right.
How does everyone feel now that you divided it by 40 weeks?
Better.
Doable? Excited? Committed? Does anyone not have their weekly appointment number to focus on?
Yeah, I'm lost.
Okay.
I think mine used to be like 1 or 2 a week when I do this.
Your weekly is 11, Jackie? Okay. What was Jackie, are you able to come off mute or no?
I can do it right. I can do it right now for a quick second.
Okay, I'll be fast for you. Okay. So what was your total GCI goal for 2026?
100,000.
Okay, perfect. And is your average it's between 350, so about $9,800 would be an average commission check for you?
Yeah, I did 9, but sure.
Okay, we'll do 9. I want you to feel totally excited about it. Okay. So then we're going to round that up to about 12 closings.
Okay,
Everyone
so
who's
that's where I
lost,
stopped.
I want you to follow everyone else who has lost. This is your chance, right? Okay, so 12. And then we're going to divide that by 75% average, which I know you're not average, but we're doing that for example. So 15 under contract. We're going to divide that by 75% again, average, which is 20 agreements to work with you, buyer or listing. And divide it one more time times 75%. and you're going to get 26 total appointments for the year. And then we're going to divide that by 40 weeks, which means you need 66.66 or round up to 1 appointment a week for 40 weeks.
Okay. What
I was
appointment
like,
is
I don't
it?
want you thinking that you have to go on 11 appointments.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seemed a bit high. Yes, it did.
Yeah. I mean, you can, you'll just have a much bigger business than you were planning on.
Right, right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm excited for you. Okay. Did that help you, Jeff?
I mean, I just can't, I'm having trouble hearing you, and I know kind of some of the math. I've done it several times. I think mine's like close to a month, I think is what I need to hit my goal of 100,000 a year.
Okay, got it. Well, if you want to talk more about this later, we can. Okay, so everyone knows how many appointments you need. Stay focused on this. If you don't do anything else with this entire call, please promise me that you're going to keep your appointment held goal in front of you in a place that you get excited about hitting it, where you like tally off hitting it every month. And then you can start to gamify it and see how fast in the month can you focus on hitting it. Okay. All right. And then you can message me and say, hey, I hit my appointment goal by the 15th. I'll be very happy to take that call. All right, number 5. And then what I'm going to do is next Monday at this time, I'm going to go through 6 through 10 because it really mattered to me that we go deep in this and that you guys feel really confident with it and that you have your action items and homework, not that we fly through it and everyone's just staring at the screen wondering what in the world we just talked about. Okay. So number 5 is 30% by March 3rd. So it is very, very well known and proven in the real estate industry that if you have 30% of your goal of your GCI on the books before the year ends, and that's through March 31st. Like if you've closed 30% of your whole goal for the year, the reality of you hitting your goal for the year is so much higher. So instead of slowing down in the fourth quarter like other people do, the opportunity is to think about, here's all the times I'm going to be present on holidays with my family. Here are the vacations I have. Mark all that off your calendar. And then go all in on the activities and the conversations necessary to make sure that you hit your goal. Here's what's fun about that. You know how many appointments you need to be going on in a 12-month period. The easiest way to think about this is, how do I go on a third of those before the year ends, right? So if you know, for example, 95 appointments, Britt, and I would love to go on 1/3 of those, so 32, now your opportunity is life worth living first. You have all your present time with your family. Go to your calendar between now and the end of the year and figure out, where can I place enough spots on my calendar such that I can hold 32. You might want to schedule slightly more than that because we know we're not going to be perfect from appointment scheduled to held. So we need to leave a little room in there. So maybe you're scheduling 40 spots to offer people, knowing that you're going to have a goal of having 32. Here's the secret I'm going to tell you, Britt. You're not average. So even though you're newer in this business, you're not average. And so even though we think you're going to need to go on 32 appointments to have a third of your production scheduled by March 31st, you won't. Because by the time you're in 32 conversations around this, you're getting great at it. And your conversion goes up. And you've asked all the questions to help you feel more excited about it. It just takes getting the reps and being in front of people so often that it becomes seamless and you start attracting business to you.
I do like using like safe conservative numbers to do the goal setting though, to like
Yes,
high.
because it guarantees the result.
Right. Because I'm like, yes, I want to do better than that, but like this is the work. I can't like
That's right.
rest on my laurels I haven't even built yet.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Okay, well, these were the first 5 of my 10 key numbers that you want to focus on for your business and for your life. So I want you to go through what you just did, and everyone come off mute and share with me what you got out of it, what actions you're going to take. What are you most excited about?
What I learned is I'm going to put this in an Excel spreadsheet for it to do the math.
Perfect. As long as you're looking at it, I don't care how you get there. I love that so much. Excel is my best friend. I actually have a whole like little wooden thing in my office in my house because Michelle Braining gifted me a dorky Excel board because of how much I love Excel. So that's a good idea. Who else? What'd you get from it?
I am going to look at my not to do list again and really see where I can leverage my life. I think that's really important for consistency. And then the other piece is just, I'm so glad to map out these numbers and get started early on the process. That's actually awesome.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm glad that that was helpful for you. What's so funny about what you just said, Jackie, is many times some of the smallest things that we spend the most hours on at home in the personal leverage conversations don't need to be us. And it's almost like we take it on as a badge of honor that we need to be doing everything, and we don't.
I do that. I feel so accomplished by all the little things that I get done.
Yeah. But your kiddos are going to remember like you being there, being an amazing mama, getting them ready for bedtime over who did the dang laundry, right? So just remember that when you're building everything out. Like if it's taking you a long time, it doesn't give you joy and the family doesn't care if you're the one doing it, it probably doesn't have to be you forever.
I know I need to focus my lead generation strategy and learn more about like getting the appointment, like having a clearer ask, like really being objective oriented with getting the appointment. Like that's the crux right now for me. And so that's what I mean, I'm just going to dig back into the MREA, and the agents I know are crushing it. And
I love that. And the easiest thing I've ever heard of is just asking people who they know.
mm,
And just don't act like if you're concerned about if you're asking them around it, just ask them who they know that has real estate related plans or who they know that is having a baby or is going through a hard time like a death or a divorce that you can just be a support to during this time. Because people want to help each other, we just don't give each other a chance to help because we think that we're asking for something instead of wanting something for that person. We act like we're asking, taking away from them, when really everybody on here just really wants to contribute and make things for people better, right? So, all right, who else? What do you guys get?
I love
Just
that.
say I like the monthly money day. That was really good to me. Yes. I'm excited to implement that. And that's
Hashtag
it.
monthly money day, tag me in it. I'm so passionate about this topic. Everyone knows that.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole.
Hi. So I love that even though my business model is very different, I was still able to apply everything that you said and the formulas you gave and tweak it into my own, and it still worked flawlessly.
Woohoo! I love that. Love it, love it. Thank you. All right. I'm so proud of you guys. You didn't drop off or I love this question. Britt, thank you, thank you, thank you. I actually love that for lead gen and love it for money day because a lot of people are like, I am not looking at numbers more than I need to, but I showed up here because I was hoping I would get it, right? So I would love for anyone to answer, Britt, if you have a fun affirmation or prayer that you do before your lead gen to make sure that you're coming from contribution and not scarcity, right? So if you do have an answer, go ahead and jump in and answer her. But I will tell you this, Britt, sometimes environment is the answer. So for a lot of people who have struggled with monthly money days over the years, as I've helped them do this, sometimes it's putting yourself in a space that is open and freeing and positive, where you're kind of counteracting any of that nervous energy that can come with focusing on something that you don't naturally love. Oh, I love this one, Delia. Yes. Yes. So Mel does her 5-minute gratitude journal. Nicole says, I have value to give and I lead with kindness. The people meant to be in my sphere will be. So good. Delia, everyone I call is excited to hear from me. And then Lorda said, in front of the mirror, affirmations work for me in the past, which I know you've written things on your mirror before, Britt. So
yeah, y'all, that was awesome.
yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Okay. Just to wrap it up, inspired by Britt, everyone write one positive affirmation or statement about money in the chat. Money comes to me easily and frequently. I love that. And remember, money is good for the good it can do, right? So all the people that we can help. I'm deserving to be a steward of money to create a life for myself, my family, and to spread generously. I love that, Britt. That's beautiful. I'm in alignment with total amount of money, however much it is. I like that, Lourdes. The rest of the people are like, do I have to write an affirmation if I wait too long? Money can make you and others happy by making things easier. I may have problems, but money won't be one of them. Yes, I like
Oh,
that
I love
one.
that one.
I'm in charge of
I
my
really
time
understand.
and in turn, how I make and spend it for my family and others. That is right. You do choose it. It's so good. All right, guys, you all were all in today. Whether you were able to be on, my life is filled with abundance and I welcome it. That's so true for you, Melissa. All right. I know, Treva, I'm so proud of you for being on here. I just keep watching the beautiful journey that you're on around this conversation, and it is so inspiring because we have a variety of people here that were like, I already get this. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything, all the way to I hate this topic and I showed up anyway, and everywhere in between. So thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. I would challenge you, any one little thing that helped you the most today that can help people that you could do business with or that you love, go share it with them today, because it's going to hold you accountable to taking action on it as well. And as promised, next Monday at 1, I will go through 6 through 10 so that you guys have time. And I want you to come back and tell me what happened as a result of you implementing this. Love you guys. Have an amazing week.
Thank you so much.